Hello Popsugar. My name is Ken, also known as MrKenDenis on YouTube and on Instagram. Today I am going to show you guys how to create this super glammed Mardi Gras look so you can be fabulous for the party. Alright, we're starting off with a bare face, and I've already just moisturized my skin, under eye cream, that sort of thing. We're going to move on to primer. So I'm just going to prime my face first. I'm going to use this one from Rimmel London. This one is the Stay Matte Makeup Primer. Just going to use a buffing brush to spread this all over the skin. Now for Mardi Gras, I would suggest definitely priming your skin because you want your makeup to last all day and all night for the party and to look as glamorous as possible for every single photo that you're going to be taking for the day and evening. Alright, so I'm just going to give that a few minutes to sink in. While that's sinking in, we're going to move on to the eyes. Again, we're starting off with primer. I'm using this one from Urban Decay. This one is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Original. Alright, next we're going to set that with a loose powder. I'm just grabbing this one from Rimmel London. I just love doing this technique. I find that if you set your primer with a translucent powder, you'll often find that your eyeshadows will blend a lot better. Alright, now it's time to move on to the actual eyeshadow, and the eyeshadow palette of choice is this one from Too Faced. This one is the Chocolate Gold palette, so I'm just going to take that pinky shade first. Just going to use this as a transition colour, so just all over the lid. Next I'm going to be taking a smaller, narrower type blending brush, and I'm just going to be grabbing that purple shade. This one is called Living Lavish, and I'm just going to pop that into the actual crease. And when you're doing a crease, I always like to look straight into a mirror, that way I can see where the actual colour is going, because when your face is neutral, you're looking straight on, not like this or like that. So, you know, try and keep it as neutral as possible and you'll be able to see how your eyeshadow will look throughout the day. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit of a cut crease. I'm just going to be taking this jumbo eye pencil from NYX. This one is in Milk. You can also achieve this by using a concealer. Just taking a flat synthetic brush, I'm just going to blend that out a bit. Alright, we're going to dip into another palette momentarily. We're going to grab this one from Urban Decay. This one is the Nocturnal Shadow Box palette. Just going to be grabbing that blue shade. So I'm just concentrating this on the outer corner and only where I applied the Milk pencil. Alright, going back into the Too Faced palette, we're now going to grab that green shade. And then we're going to dip into Chocolate Gold, which is obviously that golden shade. So I'm just using the opposite side of the brush, so I don't have to use another brush. Alright, we're going to move on to some liquid liners. I'm just going to use this one from Revlon. This is just a normal black eyeliner. While doing your eye makeup, you might notice a little bit of fallout. Do not worry, that is why we do the eyes first, because we can just wipe that away before we put on the base. So I'm just grabbing some makeup wipes. Just going to wrap it around my finger so I can actually be precise, and just glide it where it's needed. You can also use this to help sharpen your eyeliner look. For the boys out there, if you guys have this issue going on, like a 5 o'clock shadow, and you don't want to be apparent when you have your makeup on, then I suggest using a color corrector. This one is by LA Girl Pro, and this one is their orange corrector. All you really need is just a tiny bit of this product, so just put it where you have that sort of like dark cast, that green undertone. And now I've got a ginger beard. It's going to blend that out. And to prevent that from mixing in and moving around when we apply the foundation, we are just going to put some setting powder on top. Right, now it's time to move on to foundation. So I do prefer something quite long wearing that can last through the humidity, the sweat, the partying, you know the drill. So I've just chosen the MAC Studio Fix Fluid, and because this one's a little bit light for me at the moment, I'm just going to darken it with these Total Control drops by NYX. Alright, so I'm just going to do a little bit of cream, contouring, bronzing. I'm just going to be using this concealer from Rimmel London. This one is from the Lasting Finish Breathable collection, and this one is in 600. And then for a lighter concealer, I'm just going to be grabbing this one from Tarte. This one is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. doing this makeup look brings back memories for my first Mardi Gras. I remember I was at uni and I went with a couple of friends. We actually went really early. I think we got to pretty much Oxford Street at 11 in the morning, maybe 11, 12, and we stayed at this pub, like it was a corner pub. We stayed there until the parade started, which I believe was around 5 or 6 in the evening at that time. And oh my gosh, I only had like, what, $30 in my pocket. I really had to budget myself because I had to use that $30 also to get back to Wollongong, and I think the tickets were like $20 as well. So, you know, I could only really afford 1 or 2 beers, if that. So you can imagine I had really warm beer until the parade started. So that was not fun. But seeing the actual parade happening itself was amazing. I highly recommend you guys check it out if you guys live in Australia or plan to come to Australia and want to see it. Definitely something that you need to see for yourself. So I'm just going to do a little bit of baking, which is basically using translucent powder. So I'm just using that Rimmel one. Just going to set that concealer in place using the damp beauty sponge. And then for a long-lasting makeup, I find that using a translucent powder actually helps your makeup last a lot longer compared to a normal face powder. Not really sure why, but that's just my observation. Alright, so before we do anything more to the face, let's finish off the eyes first. I'm going to take that pencil in Milk again. I'm just going to run it on the lower lash line. Just taking a pencil brush and I'm grabbing that orangey coppery shade in the palette. Just going to pop it on the outer corner. And then I'm going to be dipping into Gold Dipped, which is sort of like a champagne gold. Then I'm going to be grabbing Love Cocoa from the palette. Alright, now it's time for fabulous lashes. Now I feel that the eyeshadow needs to be the centerpiece, so we don't want anything too dramatic. So I'm just going to be grabbing the volume set from Nikkia Joy Cosmetics. I'm just going to be grabbing that pair over there. Alright, the lashes are now on. Now I need a little bit of definition on the lower lash line, so I'm just grabbing this PowerPoint pencil by MAC. This one is in Duck. Alright, just going to blend my fake lashes with my natural lashes using this one from Rimmel London. This one is the Wonderfully Real Mascara with Keratin. I often get asked what was my reaction to my first ever Mardi Gras, and to be completely honest, I was in awe. I was very surprised that something like this actually existed. If you guys don't know me, I was basically born and raised in Hong Kong, and in Hong Kong, at least when I was growing up, it wasn't very open in terms of like diverse sexuality, and you know, seeing Mardi Gras for the very first time was very exhilarating, to be honest, very liberating as well, because I was in an environment where everyone was pretty much just celebrating who they were and didn't really care what anyone else thought. It was just a celebration of individuality, diversity, and just equality. Just, you know, just walking down Oxford Street, seeing everyone dressed up, all glammed up, and growing up in Asia, for me, that would never happen. At least when I was growing up, it would never happen. And just to see everyone just so happy, just being themselves. Alright, we're going to fill in the brows. I'm just grabbing this one from Rimmel London. This one is the Brow This Way Brow Sculpting Kit, and this one is in medium brown. Alright, so I'm just going to do a bit more contouring. So I'm just grabbing this one from RodialInstaglam. This one is the Instagirl contouring powder. Alright, now time for some blush. I'm grabbing this palette from Maybelline. I'm going to be adventurous. I'm going to be grabbing a very deep purple shade. I'm also going to be bringing it into the temple area. And now it's time to highlight to the girls. So I'm just going to be grabbing this one from Garbo and Kelly. And I'm just going to be grabbing the shade Lana. Alright, the secret to a blinding highlight is to wet your brush. So I'm just grabbing this setting spray from Rimmel London. This one is the hashtag Instant Fix and Go 2-in-1 Prime and Setting Spray. Now as you guys can see on my face, there's no glitter, so we're going to remedy that. We're going to be using this one from Too Faced. So I'm just going to pop this into the inner corner of the eye. And before that dries, I'm just going to pop on some actual glitter. This one is from In Your Dreams Cosmetic Glitter. Alright, now we're going to move on to the lips. I'm just grabbing this lip liner from Rimmel London. This one is the Exaggerate Full Lip Color Lip Liner in Obsession. And then to top that off, we're going to be using this gorgeous lip color from MAC. This one is called Electric Rainbow. Alright, so the makeup is pretty much done. We just need to set that all in place. And to finish off the look, you can have some obnoxiously large sunglasses, a boa, some Mardi Gras beads. You can use them as a necklace obviously, or as a bracelet like what I've done here. And yeah, you can take the glasses off and like stun everyone with your makeup. Pretty much the makeup look done. Before I finish the video, I'd like to share with you guys one of my favorite moments at Mardi Gras, and that was pretty much when the parade was all done. People were just partying on the streets, and you know, it didn't really matter who and what you were. It was just like, we're just going to party, we're just going to celebrate who we are, our individuality, our equality. And you know what, I'm actually looking forward to Mardi Gras this year because same-sex marriage has just been approved. I feel like it's an even bigger reason to celebrate, even bigger this year. So yeah, really excited. Alright guys, so there you guys go. That is one of the makeup looks I'd wear to Mardi Gras. Girl, it's fabulous. Again, my name is Ken, also known as MrKenDenis on YouTube and on Instagram. If you guys like my work, definitely follow me on my social media channels. And that's pretty much it from me. Hopefully you guys have a lovely Mardi Gras, and don't forget to stay hydrated, lovelies, because it's gonna be a long party.